Harry Kane's really the kind of player that would slot almost instantly into United's attacking play at the moment. So is he somebody that will move to United maybe in 12 months' time for free, or is he on the move as well? What's your take on the Kane situation?
So it looks like it's almost done with Bayern in terms of an agreement. The move's still nowhere near being done by all accounts because it's early stages. But by the sounds of things, Bayern are really optimistic that they've agreed a fee with Tottenham and could agree personal terms with Kane. I wonder if that opens the market up a little bit for him. We know Tottenham are notoriously difficult to deal with, and Kane has been here before, where he should have had his move to Man City and it fell through because Tottenham dug their heels in. I think once clubs get a whiff of the fact that they are willing to cash in on him this summer, you mentioned earlier how limited the number 9 market is. I wouldn't be surprised to see more teams knocking on the door then. And actually maybe some Premier League teams. I don't know about Man United. It's difficult because it makes so much sense.
Yeah,
He'd be perfect for them. Højlund could come in with a bit less pressure and learn off Kane. That would be fantastic, although it's a big amount of money to spend on 2 strikers in one window. But United have essentially got no strikers right now. And if you want to compete at the top level, you need depth everywhere. So I think the move to Bayern does make a lot of sense from their squad's point of view. But whose squad wouldn't benefit from having Harry Kane in it right now?
Yeah,
he automatically, other than Spurs, because they always manage to Spurs it up, he automatically should guarantee that you're competing at the top level because he's one of the best number 9s in world football. So if you have the right squad around him and the right management structure, then I absolutely think any club in Europe would be lucky to have him. I'm surprised there's not been more interest in him yet, but I do think that's just because it's Spurs. I don't know. Does Højlund affect Man United's interest in Kane? That depends on what their budget can stretch to. If they could get both, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in with a bid. But then there are loads of clubs. Maybe Juventus offload Vlahovic and they come in for him and try and bring him to Italy. No. If Bayern are the level, then why aren't Juve? If PSG try and offer him a move, if Mbappe goes, I don't know. I feel like there should be far more suitors for Harry Kane than there currently are.
I feel like Harry Kane, though, personally needs to go, and he probably wants to go to a team that is in a realistic chance of winning the Champions League. Because the main reason for him moving is for personal glory now, isn't it? He's got no trophies to his name. Poor guy. He deserves something.
Hang on, they just won the Gold Tiger Cup or something, didn't they?
Don't give me that. But I mean, if he goes to Bayern, it's almost, and this is no disrespect to Leipzig or Dortmund or any other contenders, but he's almost guaranteed to win the Bundesliga. So there's been some
disrespect there.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of snobbery towards whether going to Bayern is something that's ambitious for him. But Bayern are kind of one of those teams, the very few teams that are in with a realistic chance of winning the Champions League as well, because their squad is so good. I honestly don't think if he went to Manchester United, he's going to get anywhere near close to winning the Champions League, even the Premier League. So, from a personal ambition point of view, Bayern makes sense.
Can you see anyone catching City in the Champions League at the moment?
Maybe Bayern.
I don't know how realistic anyone's chances are, if I'm honest. Because you're right, Bayern have been smart in the window. They've brought in some good players. But look at how close Dortmund ran them in the league last season. They don't seem overly settled. Obviously, Sadio Mane looks like he's on his way out, so it opens up a spot in the attacking line. The midfield, it seems like all of them are being linked away with the club. Every time I look at something, Kimmich and Goretzka both look like they have moves on the cards if they wanted them. I don't know if Bayern are as guaranteed to be at the top end of European competition because they looked miles off it against City last year. I know they've strengthened since then. Kim Min-jae is a great sign-in. They've got in Lima and Rafael Guerreiro as well. So they are doing things in the market, but is it enough to compete with City or PSG or Real Madrid? Say again.
City probably need a couple of attackers in. Real Mahrez just
leaving. Yeah, probably.
There's still obviously talk of Bernardo Silva potentially on the way out. So, who do they bring in? I just think if you're Harry Kane and you're now looking at your legacy and what you want to achieve from your career, you could go to Bayern Munich and win the Bundesliga for 3 years and then maybe come back to England at some point if you fancied another chance at the Premier League. Or
I don't know. I feel like there are better projects for European football than Bayern Munich right now, if I'm honest. Because Bayern Munich are ruthless and they don't seem consistent in a project. They brought in a young manager that they were going to build a legacy around and then change their mind after a year. Who's to say Tuchel will be there that long? I just feel like Bayern are really inconsistent. I would rather look... Realistically, the sad thing is the best club for Harry Kane right now is probably Arsenal, but that's never happening.
The talk was that apparently Carlo Ancelotti made him his number one striker target. And apparently...
and then Mbappe's throwing a spanner in the works.
Yeah, that's the thing. It affects so much of the number 9 market, doesn't it? This Harry Kane move and what happens next. It really does.
That's the thing for me. I think Harry Kane would be a better fit than Mbappe at Real Madrid at the minute. Because if you're looking at them potentially moving Vinicius Jr. out of his favoured position to accommodate Mbappe.
Yeah, and obviously with Benzema out of the picture in Madrid as well, there's no obvious replacement for him, not like for like anyway. Kane seems like it's slotting quite nicely, so yeah.
You got to remember though, it's Real Madrid we're talking about, and the commercial profile of a player means everything, and his age will mean everything. This is a World Cup winner, one of the best players in the world, and Harry Kane, as excellent as we all know he is, isn't of the same profile. He just isn't.
Well, the way that Kylian Mbappe has conducted himself, though, mate, in the last 2 years is no way near as professional and easy to manage as Harry Kane. So maybe you look at the Kylian
When's that
Mbappe
ever put Real Madrid up?
No, I know. But this is Ancelotti as well. I don't know how long he'll be there, to be fair, because I know Brazil are eyeing him up, aren't they?
I think that's
confirmed.
It'll be the fee that's putting Real Madrid off, no doubt.
Yeah.
Because
the whole package, though.
Say, if he was on a free this season... I think he'd already be there at Real Madrid.
Do we think that he's just going to go to Bayern then? Or do you think United might come in for him?
No, I think United would wait and see the lay of the land after this summer. And if he's still at Spurs this season, they'll get him on a free next season. I think that would suit Kane as well, to be fair. Won't suit Spurs, obviously. But if I
think that would be backwards from United, if I'm honest. If you're going to get him, you've got to get him now. There's no point playing Højlund for a year to move him out for Kane in 12 months' time. You've got to do it the other way around. Give Højlund the time to develop with Kane.
Don't think the budget's there.
Maybe. That's the problem, because they spank so much in other areas, it feels like.